Welcome to Twisted Peach Realty Group. I'm Rusty.
I'm April. What are we going to talk about today?
I don't know. Home buying?
Ooh, do you remember when we bought our first house?
The year was 2002. We were kids.
We were.
Looking for a house. We were renting back then, right?
Yes, an apartment.
Yes, had an apartment. And
Lots of little kittens.
lots
Illegal kittens.
lots of cats. Yeah, they weren't supposed to be there.
Yes.
They would sit in the windows
Yeah.
and stare at the manager.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. We were those people. Hey, you have any cats in there?
No.
How did we find a realtor back then?
Oh, our realtor was, first of all, somebody I knew since I was in elementary school. And he was helping my brother and sister-in-law find a house.
Okay.
We were doing the same thing. So
Right.
somebody we knew.
So it was
From
natural.
college.
Yeah, we knew him, and he was also helping your brother and his wife.
Yeah.
Because it was easy.
Yeah, it was
But-
easy.
But that was back then. How would someone find a realtor these days?
A lot of people look online or they
On
ask-
YouTube.
or they ask somebody they know. Everybody knows a realtor, so it's asking somebody you know.
That is true. Yeah, someone you know, someone you trust.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So we found our realtor, and the next step was financing. Late 02 maybe, and we actually went to their office. This was in
yeah.
Missouri, Springfield,
Yeah.
Missouri, and we sat down. I have no idea what the name of the.
Did we fill it out online or was
I don't
it?
think there was online.
There was online. I'm sure we had AOL.
Dial-up.
Dial-up.
Paying per minute? Yeah. No, you and I went to their office and sat down, and we were fresh out of college, weren't making any money, and
Making some money.
yes, and they told us that we were qualified for like a $400,000 house, and I laughed.
And we said no.
I laughed, and I said, "There's no way what would the mortgage be on that?"
That was before a lot of the
Predatory lending laws
came
went
into effect. That's true.
So luckily, we said no.
We were not suckers.
And we settled for a much lower $50,000 range. It's true.
It is true. We were poor college kids.
All right, so nowadays, how does the whole financing thing work? Can you still sit down with someone? Does it have to be a big company somewhere in America that you fax everything to?
I prefer the idea of working with somebody that you know is accountable. So it'd be somebody, I have a couple lenders that I like to work with specifically, and there's high accountability there because of the relationship, and it's all done online, over the phone. You can definitely sit down with some of them in person and have a chat if that's what makes you feel more comfortable, but in general, it's over the phone or online. How did we find our house?
I think our realtor found it for us.
Do you even remember, did you ever look at emails on AOL or anything like that?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember. I think maybe he had a real estate yellow pages or something. I don't know how it worked back then because I don't remember looking online. I don't, I know he came up with houses in our price range, which was pretty low. And I remember we went to see them with him.
Do you even remember how many houses we saw?
I don't know. Probably not many because
I don't think we did. I think it was 3 or 4.
I don't think it was that many.
Or was it 1?
It might have just been.
We might have found the one. I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
It was a good house.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 2002. In this day and age, how do people find houses?
We have so many options. Online has changed everything. So typically, for my buyers, for my clients, I look for houses for them, but then I also have some searches set up to help make sure we don't miss anything, nothing falls through the cracks, so it's a double-sided effort. So they get emails every day with the houses that fit their criteria, and then I'm also keeping an eye out on what's coming up. I'm looking at those emails and making sure that they see really good ones, and I try to handpick ones that I like for them. And obviously you have, the big names on the internet that people look at just constantly.
All right, so we found our house, and I don't remember how many offers we had to put in or if it went back and forth.
I don't either.
For that
Because I felt
deal.
like our realtor talked to you during that time.
I think so. And I also think the seller may have been dead. And so there probably wasn't a whole lot of...
Actually, I think you're right.
No, I think so. It was like an old lady and
I'm
she...
pretty sure our neighbor died like 3 years later.
Yeah.
That was
Patrick.
so sad. Oh, he was sweet.
Rip.
Sorry, you can't say that. He's so bad.
He was a good guy.
He was sweet.
He was a very good guy. Yeah, so I do remember this part, though. Whenever we did reach a deal, there was a lot of repairs that had to be done.
Yeah.
And I don't know whoever, if it was the seller's family or if it went to an estate. I don't remember that part, but I do remember going there myself and scraping a lot of chipping paint and repainting and something to do
Yeah.
with windows.
I don't know that you would be doing that nowadays because some of those requirements have changed.
So that would have been due diligence.
Yeah, so during the due diligence, after you get your offer negotiated out and you guys, everybody, the seller and the buyer have agreed on a price, we came to an understanding, then at that point you had that due diligence period, which gives you time to really check out the neighborhood, to do the home inspection and see what repairs are needed, make sure nothing major is going on with the house that you didn't know about. That's what that's for. And then if you decide that, we didn't have to do this, but when you decided that, if you don't feel like that's the right fit for you, you can back out of that house. I mean, that's an option there without any negative consequences.
And I believe ours was a financing thing.
I think
honestly.
ours was
I think
for
it was
the loan.
it was a first time home buyers.
Yeah.
Something to do with
It was a
chipping
requirement.
paint.
I remember that.
And
Yeah.
So after the due diligence, everything was sort of locked together.
Mm-hmm.
From that point on, it was all about the loan packet.
Yeah. Did we have any, did you feel like you knew what was going on at the time, other than just our realtor, shout out to Kevin, on what was going on?
No idea whatsoever.
Yeah.
I just knew my big thing was I didn't want to spend too much money because I'd heard horror stories. And I
Okay.
think the whole time, because we found this house, I think it was like $48,000 that we paid for it. And that was all that mattered to me because I knew we could afford it. We weren't going to be house poor. It wasn't going to get taken back by the bank. That was, I think everyone has their own sticking point, and that was mine.
Okay, so for you, was it really good knowing that an appraiser was going to go out and evaluate the house and tell you what it was worth?
I don't think I even knew what an appraiser was back then.
I'm sure your realtor told you.
I'm just being honest.
But did it not feel good to see that report and say, oh, my house is worth this, I'm not paying over that?
It never occurred to me. I'm serious.
Should I have been in charge of this whole process?
Well, clearly, looking back.
Okay.
But so the loan packet's finalized. So this day and age, after due diligence and everything is agreed upon, what happens after that?
So you have the appraiser, goes out, make sure the house is worth what it's supposed to be worth. And the loan has to get finalized, so it goes to underwriting with the appraisal report, any extra documentation they need from the buyers, all that stuff. So there's a lot of communication with the lender at that point. And then it's, you set your closing date or your closing time on your closing date, and you go to closing. Did I even look at the house before we bought it?
I'm assuming.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, we looked at it because we were on the front porch. Your family came with us to look at it one time. And we sat on the porch swing, and your dad said, "That's a good porch swing."
Oh,
and there was a trunk they left in the basement.
Porch swing. I loved it.
And he's like, "That's a good trunk."
It was a very good trunk. Did you bring that trunk here to Georgia?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a good
It
trunk.
was a good trunk.
So,
long time ago.
so just so no one gets confused and thinks that it's still 2002,
Yeah, it's not like that anymore.
for this day and age, give a quick breakdown of what people can expect for buying a house this day and age.
First of all, you find your realtor, you find your lender. A lot of times it's better if you work with somebody where they know each other. That's a good thing. Second of all is finding a home. Second of all, I got 3 fingers up. Third, finding a home. Then you go on to negotiating out the deal, doing due diligence, checking for your home inspection, all that kind of stuff. Then there's the appraisal. And after that, most of the loan has to be finalized. The package has to be finalized with the last documents and the appraisal report, and then it's closing day.
Awesome. And we've actually done a couple of videos already on terms
Earnest
like
money.
earnest money, due diligence, things like that. So definitely check out some of the playlists, and you can find those videos.
Yep.
So with any more questions, you can check out the website, twistedpeachrealtygroup.com.
For a lifestyle you deserve, a home you love, and a community you can belong in.